Explained, where each week I give you the missing context clues to help you better understand the readings that you hear at Mass on Sunday. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I sincerely want to thank every single person who reached out with your kind and sweet messages. Long story short, I had some major life events to attend to. Number one, I got married, and number two, I am now expecting a little baby boy coming this September. So I will have to take a break again once he arrives, but in the meantime, I'm back helping you understand what these readings are talking about that you hear. This Sunday is the 11th Sunday of Ordinary Time, and the first reading that you'll hear is from the book of the prophet Ezekiel. Unless you know what's going on here, it's incredibly confusing because it sounds like he's speaking in some kind of symbolism, and he is. So as a reminder, the prophet Ezekiel was one of the first prophets and priests to have been exiled from Judah into Babylon. And he's writing about these historical events that are unfolding, and he's writing them in the form of a long fable, if you will. And it's doom. It's a doom writing. It's gloomy. It's dark. It is the toughest time of the nation of Judah. People are being killed and exiled. Judah's being destroyed. So obviously it's not, it's heavy stuff. In the fable, he writes of two eagles and then two shoots. Shoots being like chunks of trees being taken off, kind of. The two shoots that he is referring to are symbolizing the last two kings of Judah. So Jehoiakim and Zedekiah. And they essentially break the covenant with God. Now, the two eagles that he's referring to are the opposing, aggressing rulers at the time, Nebuchadnezzar and Pharaoh. So what he mentions in this fable is that the aggressive actions of these opposing rulers essentially validate the covenant that the last two kings of Judah broke. It's a really long fable, dark and depressing, like I said, so he decides to end it on a positive note with a prophecy that is designed to restore faith for the people of Judah. And that prophecy at the very end of it is the first reading that you will hear on Sunday. And so essentially what he says is that God is going to pluck one of the shoots out of a cedar, being Babylon, and he's going to plant it at the toppest, highest peak in Israel, and it is going to become this majestic cedar, being Judah, meaning God is going to restore Judah. The overall picture here is that regardless of what these world leaders are doing, God is still the one that's ultimately in control. And so the prophet Ezekiel is trying to get that point across to restore some hope for the people of Judah. That's what this reading means. Now that you have that background information, here's what it actually says. A reading from the book of the prophet Ezekiel. Thus says the Lord God, I too will take from the crest of the cedar, from its topmost branches, tear off a tender shoot and plant it on a high and lofty mountain. On the mountain heights of Israel, I will plant it. It shall put forth branches and bear fruit and become a majestic cedar. Birds of every kind shall dwell beneath it, every winged thing in the shade of its boughs. And all the trees of the field shall know that I, the Lord, bring low the high tree, lift high the lowly tree, wither up the green tree, and make the withered tree bloom. As I, the Lord, have spoken, so will I do. The word of the Lord. Hopefully that helped you better understand this reading. If so, please like the video, share it with someone who you think may also find it to be helpful, comment on it, and come back next week as we break down one of the readings from the 12th Sunday in Ordinary Time. I will see you then.